Are you ready to start building out your home lab? If so, let's do it. So, the last time we talked, we had a live stream where we went through all the different things we want to cover. We want to build out in our labs. It's extensive. Like here you can see, I've kind of built a mind map out. And I'll share this, but we kind of broke things out between the main like security technologies we want to play with, like cloud, network security monitoring, zero trust concepts. But I also put things into like foundational, like where do you probably need to start? Like virtualization. I need to have some type of hardware, right? What do I need to get this actually going? And as we start to go into containers and virtualizations and building out the lab, in my mind, you kind of need some key infrastructure that organizations will commonly have. Could be all cloud based, but we want to sprinkle a mix of realistic environment in here. So I want to help you get started, but the more I thought about this, even though I have like the home lab and the foundations, which is really where I'm going to start, and then we'll flip from there over into main categories, and I might mix it up every once in a while and interchange some of these because you don't have to do them all in a linear fashion. But I kind of stopped to think about like when it comes to building out a home lab, if I was starting this from scratch and I could redo my life over, one of the things that I would probably start off with is why? Like, it's great you want to build it, and I'm assuming there's career choices, like you want to get more salary, you want to get a promotion, like, and maybe some of you are doing it for passion. And again, I've said this a million times, you don't have to be passionate about this content to want to learn it to help other areas of your life out. That's okay. If you're fortunate, like I love this career, that definitely helps. But this is going to be kind of an odd video because where I would recommend you start is trying to figure out the real motive on why you want to build a home lab. Now, the reason I'm saying that is without understanding your why, you might start down this and be all energetic, and a lot of you have reached out. Thank you so much for that. But it'll fizzle out. Like it'll be like one of those kids sprinklers during the 4th of July, right? You buy them, they run around the yard, and it's like 30 seconds later, it's done. Oh man. Well, that's why you go to the fireworks show because it's a continuous stream and it's a little bit more impressive. But the reason we sometimes fizzle out is we don't really know what our motivation is. Like, and I want to talk through that. And if you're not interested, feel free to skip this video because it's not for everybody. But I hope you listen. Because, well, like, here's a saying I recently heard, and it goes like this: Consumerism, something American has a lot of, replaces commitment with convenience, community with content, and presence with preference. Hey, you're probably watching this on YouTube, and isn't that exactly what YouTube is, right? It helps you line up everything you want in the safety of your home that you can watch it when and where you want. There's no people around community that you have to engage with, and it's kind of the fact of consumerism right there. Don't argue about the definition here because I know some of you will go there. Don't do it. The reason I bring this up is I'm trying to create a whole bunch of free content and share it with you. And my motivation behind that is, yes, I want to be able to bring new business into H&A security solutions. Like we're SIM, NSM, we do managed services. If you're interested, that's great. But I, I also have an altruistic in that I really do want to actually help. But that involves community, and me just talking in recorded videos isn't going to get you there. But I can't get you there if you're not committed. And so just being able to watch these willy-nilly at your leisure without knowing why you're really doing it isn't going to work, which is why I'm having this talk. So I want you to stop and think, why are you doing this? Like, don't just follow my lead because it might not get you where you want to go. Like, if it's so that you can have salary that provides safety to your family, you can put your kids through college. If it's to bring a safety net because well, finances are a struggle. It could be maybe not as much about being secure because sometimes we make enough money that we're fine, but maybe you feel like your whole family and those before you kind of they have that label that this is all you'll ever be, and you want to break that. You want to, my family tree stopped at me because I overcame those barriers. That's fine. That's motivation. That's good. And if I look back on where I started in my career, in my mind, what motivated me back then is different than what motivates me now. Back then, well, yeah, I wanted a good salary, but for me, it wasn't about the money. I've grown up Christian, and in my mind, for some reason, I interpreted career and job and as I should apply myself to the fullest extent because I'm representing my faith. Now, I don't really know if that was accurate, but that's how, as a young man, I interpreted it. And so I threw myself head to right into it. Did all sorts of work. I also had some past history that kind of made me who I am. Maybe I'll share that later. I was a very secluded individual. Neighbor tried to kill us, things like that. Just minor stuff, right? And I realized that we all have that kind of past too. Whether it's drugs, abandonment, I don't care. I don't judge. That's not the point. But now that I'm grown, I have three young, beautiful children. I have a wife who loves me, even though I drive her insane. Um, I say I try not to, but I'm a little ornery. But my motivation now is it's like I feel like I'm the responsible. I'm the breadwinner in our family. And so I feel like I want to pay off my mortgage early so that we have not just safety, but beyond that, so I can spend more time with my kids or my grandkids when that happens in the future. I can do more projects with the church, but I also want to do some of that now. So I want you to stop and ask when you're building this out, what is your goal? Because what I really want you to do is I want you to set a target for that motivation. I want you to know that goal so that as we continue building these video series up, you have a daily focus. Because without that focus, you might not make it all the way to the end goal. So, challenge you to do that. Now, a couple things I'd like you to do if you'll take this challenge and you'll do this with me. If you would, in the comments below the video, if you're going to take this home lab challenge, make it personal, be committed, I'd love to hear what your motivation is. Because your motivation might actually motivate someone else. So if you would in the comments, if you're willing to share, let me know why you're building the home lab. What does that mean for you or your family? And in exchange for your commitment, I want to help with some of the community and presence pieces here. What I'm going to do is if you can let me know who you are, you don't have to put your name in the comments, but if you just put in there, why you're doing this, I will pray for you, right? Whether you believe or not, I'm going to pray for you. And I'm also going to look for more ways that I can do community outreach here. That means whether it's live streams that you can actually talk or chat with me, maybe some Zoom sessions where I used to do like monthly mentor sessions. I'm going to try to get back into that. But if you'll commit, I'll commit. We'll do this together. We'll come around. And together as a community, we'll move forward. We'll change the world, they say. Because there's already lots of folks doing this. Shout out to Jason Blanchard from Black Hills Information Security. It's helping people get jobs. That's community. So if you would, figure out what motivates you, why you're doing this. If you're willing to share, please share. And let's stay in touch. Will you do it?